Hello, this is Tony, and you are watching Faith and Coffee Bean. Hey guys, I always say this, if you watch this later on, just remember this is a live video. Anything can go wrong, or will go wrong. I might have a dog bark, I might have my wife come in and be like, what are you doing? I might get a call from work, who knows? Guys, that's why I like doing these lives. Guys, you are watching Faith and Coffee Bean, and I am a huge coffee fanatic and coffee geek. If you are a coffee geek like me, I'm going to ask you hit that subscribe button, just because I really started this channel just to kind of connect with the coffee community at large. I used to work in a coffee shop and be a barista when I was in college, and then for 20 years I didn't do anything about it. And then basically the last year I just went crazy. I just bought a lot of espresso machines and have fully gotten to the coffee bug again. So if you are like me and you have the coffee bug, you have been bitten by the coffee bug, hit that subscribe button, follow me on my Instagram, everything, just because, hey, you could chat with me. That's one of the best places to send me a DM. Guys, this is totally impromptu. This isn't a planned one, really. I wanted to go ahead and have my first coffee with you in the morning. It's Friday. I've had a very busy week. Hope you all have had a really great week. My wife and I did some traveling to Georgia and Tennessee. We drove for like 8 hours, and actually about 10 hours in one day. So it has been very packed. So you know what? Today, I'm going to have some coffee with my coffee buddies, and I am gonna have an espresso and a donut. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make some coffee, have a little donut, and just chill out. Again, no plan, just having some crazy coffee fun. All right, guys. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna get started because, like I said, this is my first coffee of the morning, and I need some coffee. There's just no other way to say it. I want a little bit of redemption for my Timor S3 for espresso. So, guys, this is a great grinder, okay? I just did a video on the Ratio 4. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. The Ratio 4 is one of the absolute best automatic pour-over setups you could possibly get, especially for the most budget friendly, and I put air quotes like a dad, because the truth is, guys, it is still pretty pricey, but it's also one of those things where there's a reason why, and it's really cool. So I did a review on that. My son and I, we just got that literally the day I got back from my big trip to Tennessee, and we have not been able to stop using it. Yesterday we brewed, I think it's a single cup server. It basically what you can do, with something like a V60 style. You're talking about, it's a 2 to 4 cup. We literally made, I don't know, 4 or 5 batches in like the last 2 days of coffee with it. So we have been loving it. It's awesome. This grinder is amazing. This is my Timor S3, and it's a great grinder, and I've always loved Timor. Timor is actually one of the ways I cut my teeth with espresso. I'm actually kind of a believer that you can use a manual coffee grinder to make great espresso for a lot of reasons. My first grinder I ever bought where that was really something really good was a year ago, and I bought the Chestnut 3, so the C3. And that's been awesome. I brewed on that thing for like 6 months. I just got this. I'm going to do a full review on it, but I did another live video earlier where I didn't get great results. And I know it's capable of it, but I'm going to tell you guys this right now. This is a pour-over beast. I use this with the Ratio. Oh my goodness. I think I had one of the best drip cup of coffees I've ever had. I was using these beans right here. These are Airship. They're our local roaster. This is an Ethiopian sweet floral out of Arkansas. And y'all, it was delicious and light. It's a light roast, very tasty. Oh my goodness, just so good. And I use this, and this has just been awesome. The cool thing about this one is that you can go ahead and change your different grind settings right here, right up top. Now, the one thing I kind of noticed with this one is that, and that's a 9. Um, when I did this with espresso, it just wasn't giving me the greatest results, and that's really weird because my S3, like I said, I used it daily for a long time. When I was on my trip to Tennessee, I actually was brewing on this for my grinder. This is the Nutty, and this is actually, it's a company, they're brand new. They have Time War gears, and they design the outside, so it's a partnership with Time War. Basically, it's a electric grinder that's built in there, and the burr set is very similar to the CS or the C2, I believe, one of those. And I was able to pull some shots even with my, mobile unit, and it was just really awesome. So, again, huge fan of Time War. So, let's go ahead. I want a little bit of redemption today. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring this puppy down to really one of the finest things I can get it. The one thing about this is that every little click matters. It's very sensitive. There's a lot of the microns and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get I'm going to do about 18 grams, and we are going to brew some coffee. And then I'm also using a new scale. This is an iKape scale. I'm going to do a full review on it. I just unboxed it. So I'm super stoked about that. Later on, either today, tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a video on some iKape gear. So yeah, they're awesome. This is my Portafilter I have from them. iKape, they're awesome. They make really great espresso gear. Guys, I have a lot of stuff planned out for the next week or so. So I'm going to be getting also a new Gevi machine coming this week. And I don't know if I want to give all the details yet, because, guys, I have not seen this espresso machine that they're sending to me on the US website. So I think it's something new and not out in the US market 100%. It was actually shipped to me from the factory in China. So it's taken a long time to get out here, and I'm very stoked to try it for the first time. It's a 58 millimeter Gevi with an OPV, and I want to say 3-way solenoid, but it's a very compact one. So I am very curious. I'm also a little skeptical. I really love Gevi, but I'm very skeptical just because I haven't seen anyone talk about this. So it's kind of one of those weird things. It's kind of like, am I getting something before everyone else is? I don't know. They just reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to review this unit? We'll send it to you. And they sent me a picture, and it looks really cool, guys. It looks crazy cool. Almost too good. It's wild. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Keela, how you doing? All right, so let's go ahead and do some rostra technique here. If I can hit my target. Oh my gosh. Guys, like I said, this is my first coffee here of the morning, so forgive me. Forgive me, forgive me. Hey, how's it going, Jeff? All right. So we're going to go ahead and use the timer for the first pull here. I've got my double spouted. It's getting nice and hot. We're going to use double glasses. We're going to do some fancy pants. There's no other way to say it. We'll make it pretty. I'm using Birdie for my beans today. I'm almost done with this bag. I thought I should just finish it up here. Birdie's a roaster. They specialize in single origin from Vietnam. I really love their stuff. It's Robusta, so it's like rocket fuel, y'all. There's just no other way to say it. Yeah, I really like this grinder and how smooth it is, and it really makes fast work of everything. It really feels very buttery smooth. Nice thing. I sometimes I like using a hand grinder, especially first in the morning, because it gets that blood pumping, you know? Definitely not bad. very curious about the scale. So this scale is a USB chargeable, and it is pretty much a very ultra mini. Look at this. This is a mini scale I have right here. From tuning and in comparison, it's actually a little bit bigger. So yeah, I'm stoked to try that out. Yeah, so the Gevy's coming, and then there's a couple other things I'm gonna have going on. Oh goodness, I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, I got some cool stuff coming now. So next week I should have more stuff. Also have another mobile grinder to make a video on, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Got that sitting over here on the side. All right, let's give us a little tap. All right, let's take a look at these grounds here. I am crossing my fingers. I think that looks good. I went very, very fine. Let's take a look at that retention. Not very much. Give it a little tap just to show you. Again, not very much. Really good job on that. Pour over. This thing is the pour over king. I love this grinder. My son, I put my Gemilai grinder out there in my kitchen. And my son still uses Time War C2 for all his pour overs. So it kind of cracks me up because he's got that. He likes the manual grinder like I did. Oh my goodness. Gotta love it. My son is 17, and it's just kind of nice seeing him get the coffee bug. We were just talking about, he's at that age where he could get his first job. And I was actually telling him the other day, maybe you should think about working in a cafe, you know. How fun that was for me in college. You know, as he gets into college age, that might be a really cool opportunity. We homeschool our son, and my son is high functioning on the spectrum, and my wife is a former educator. She actually went to school for being certified as special education. So it's kind of interesting, you know. It's interesting, this channel is called Faith and Coffee Bean. I used to be a pastor, but it's kind of weird, you know. I always like to kind of say this. It's kind of interesting to think how God kind of prepares your life for stuff. My wife was an educator and special, basically certified, and folks who have special needs and stuff. And our son, being on the spectrum, it's just really cool for that. I'm so thankful for my wife. And it's also really neat. I am dyslexic, and I'm a department head of an insurance company. It's never stopped me. I've gone to school and all that good stuff. Never stopped me in my career. But it's just really cool to kind of sometimes see how his perspective is on things. Because those who are on the spectrum kind of have a different perspective on some stuff. So it's pretty cool. I really like watching him get into coffee because he's very kind of like methodical. And I dig that. Like, I kind of envy it a bit. Super cool. Anyway, little personal info anyway. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and we're going to use the gravity distributor on this. So I'm going to grab my Norm core right here. Beautiful. Love this thing. Coolness. All right, let's go ahead and get a little tamper action. Love this tamper. It's one of my favorite tampers. MH Bomber. It's the force tamper. Okay. Buck screen. It's nice and pretty. Buck screen right up top. Okay. There we go. I've got to reorganize my coffee corner here. Oh man, I've got a lot of new stuff, so needed to move stuff around. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead. I'm going to get you guys a little closer. Okay. Nice. I'm not going to use it. I almost grabbed my shot mirror out of pure force of habit. I do have my cups up top on the top rack, and I'm telling you guys, this top rack, a lot of espresso machines claim, oh, it's a warming rack. Well, this one really is. The Gemilai is awesome for that. You got your boiler, you got your thermal block in the back for your steam, but this puppy really does get nice and hot. Let's go ahead and get this activated. I want to make sure I have the right clearance. This is so small, I'm digging it. Alrighty. Again, guys, first shot in the morning. Haven't had any coffee whatsoever. Just want to make sure this is perfect. There we go. Okay, so 18 grams out. I'm shooting for about 38 or so, in maybe like 30 seconds. That's kind of what I'm going for. Let's go for it. Ooh, nice. Believe it or not, I think we're pretty close to where I want to be, but not quite at the right pressure. I wish I just went a little bit finer. Oh, I'm going to stop right there. 36 in about 17 seconds. Still a little fast. I'm going to keep working and tweaking on it, but I did think this really gave a pretty shot. That's for sure. So still pretty, not where I want it to be exactly. Again, I'm going to dial in that a little bit more. There's just, I mean, I can go just a touch more finer, but still pretty. Yes, pretty. I'm gonna give it that. Not what I want though. Okay, let's give it a little stir, and just for the sake of it, let's give it a little test here. Okay. I'm always interested in finding out the difference between the extraction from each one side versus the other, because lately I've been finding, of course, it's like split, which is interesting. All right, 8.7. So 8.7, right in the espresso range, and let's give it a little taste. Cheers. Very strong. I've said this before. This coffee really has like a dark cherry undertone. Interesting. Delicious. But very strong. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I really love Birdie. If you're looking for some good crema results, try a little Robusto. Have some fun. It's definitely like a crema beast. I'm telling you guys right now, based on how fast that coffee came out, if I was using a Arabica, I wouldn't have gotten that crema. I already know it. I mean, I'd rather just be straight up honest with you guys. Don't ever think that I'm not going to be. But that crema is because it's Robusto. I can already tell you that right now. So let's go ahead. Let's pull a shot here. I also kind of have some other interesting news, and I don't know what the time frame with this is. But Very Barista, yeah, I reached out to them. They have some Mazur. Oh man, I can't believe I'm gonna forget the name here. It's like one of the most, well-known brands too. So they have some burrs, 64 millimeter burrs that fit into the DF64. So if they fit into the DF64, I have a feeling and kind of know they're going to fit into my Chardor. Oh my goodness. Shit. I keep saying the name wrong on this. Oh man, my kid is going to laugh at me again. Yeah, Chardor. I did say it right. Sorry guys, big inside joke. I keep saying this name of this company wrong, and it makes my kid laugh. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's make some other coffee here. Let's pull another shot, and then let's have a donut. So let's see here. Okay, guys, I'm gonna make a confession here. Okay, y'all know that I'm pretty much very cheap. My wife likes to say, but I like to say frugal, smart with my money. And I always do like to try, a really good kind of commodity style coffee. And I actually got this for my kid because he just drinks a lot of coffee now. And you know, he's still kind of experimenting with his espresso machine, and he's pulling a lot of shots. So I figured, you know what, let's get some Amazon Fresh. So I kind of thought to myself, let's pull a shot of Amazon Fresh. Why not? So you guys can see this. And this is basically the pretty much as cheap as you could possibly get. There's just no other way to say it when it comes to what's available on Amazon. But I got this for the kid, and I was actually surprised. I already opened up. I think it smells delicious. This is not specialty coffee. This is definitely, you could call it single origin, but it is even a blend of Colombian. So it's pretty much as cheap as possible. That's the best way to put it. So let's go ahead. We'll do another 18. And I'll clear the portafilter here in just a moment. And we're going to use the bottomless. Okay. If you're going to have a donut, you probably need some donut style coffee. I do have Good as Gold Donut Store right next to me here too. That I'm almost done with that bag. So I had thought about grabbing that. Okay. But hey, let me show you how to pull some cheap coffee. Yeah, guys, you know, that's kind of the big thing with him. As he's messing around with the espresso machine or doing his stuff, I always encourage him to use everything, you know. But I'm also kind of like, don't take Dad's coffee. There's no other way to say it. Ooh, that sounds really good. Jim, I'm reading your comment. So you just pulled a shot with your it's a sock gran bar Italian roast beans. Ooh, nice. 75% Arabica, 25% Robusta. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I feel like we all kind of get in our head, you know, it's marketing. You know, you get in your head like, you know, Arabica is cheap or something like that. But the truth is, real Italian espresso it's a blend. So I love that. And, you know, sometimes I just like pulling it. You know, you get really good results there. It's got a lot of caffeine, and it's very, very deep and rich. I've shared this, guys, before. I grew up in Southern California, and I grew up in a place called Orange County, California. You guys might have heard of it. My family was actually the first Spanish settlers of Orange County, and Orange County is a really diverse place, and a lot of my friends were Vietnamese, Filipino, from Hong Kong, from just different countries in Asia. And one of my first real coffee experiences was being a teenager and being invited over to my buddy's uncle's restaurant, and him actually roasting Vietnamese coffee right from Vietnam, green coffee that he got from like a family member, and roasting it outside on a roaster and just kind of doing it that traditional way, and then having Vietnamese coffee. So I am a huge, huge fan of that rich taste. It's super bold. I know one of my subscribers said it's like jet fuel, and it is. It's crazy. It's like I have a couple shots of that, and I'm Speedy Gonzalez. Woohoo! Goodness gracious. But hey, you know, I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and get these beans shaken up. I do have my shorter grinder here ready to go, but it is set for a pour over. I was using it with the ratio earlier yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of set it pretty fine for these beans, because that is the one thing about commodity beans, you know, grocery stored style beans. You're just never going to get that freshness. Most of the time, you're going to have to go fine. That's been my experience. You're not going to see a roast date on something like this. It's going to be a sales by date. And usually, guys, I kind of tell you this, and it tends to be close to the truth here because I don't know exactly. But like this one is basically March 3rd, 2026. Typically, it's a year to 6 months from when it was roasted. So if I had to take a big guess, this is probably roasted in March of this year. So, but when it comes to commodity style, that's actually not bad. But that's kind of a good way of figuring it out. But I'm going to tell you, it's not accurate. Unless they put a roast date, don't assume. Just enjoy. Just enjoy. All right. So let's go ahead and get these ground up here. I did swap out, whoops, the bellows for another bellows set, just because it has like an anti-popcorn on there. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing down. We're gonna go to about, I want to say, ooh man, I want to say about a 9. There we go. All right. So I completely went off track. Very Barista and I are going to kind of partner together with something. They're going to send me a burr set, and they're going to also send me a grinder cleaning kit and like utility thing. And I'm going to be doing a new series basically on just grinder maintenance and swapping out burrs and kind of getting into that, guys. I have said this before since the beginning, okay? When I was in college, I worked as a barista, but that does not mean that I am a professional coffee person. I am a home enthusiast hobby guy. I am wear the badge of home barista, not professional coffee guy. So this is the reason why I say this, guys. I am constantly learning, and I learn from YouTube. I learn from watching y'all. People like Hans Coffee Corner, Hans Coffee Corner, Tom's Coffee Corner, Han on YouTube. The big guys like James Hoffman, the Coffee Daddy, the Espresso Daddy. What does Lance call him? Lance Hendrick. Coffee Kev. All those guys. The Brew at Home channel. There's so many really cool, really awesome YouTubers out there and people that are on social media. And the reason why I say that, guys, is that I am never going to tell you, hey, this is what the pros say and this is what I say. I'm just like you. Like, I'm literally one of the reasons why I started this channel is just to learn from y'all and have fun. So I just want to make sure you guys know that, in my day job, I'm a commercial insurance guy. So that's my world. So if someone has a professional question about that, I can answer that. But I just say that just because, I never want to give anyone the wrong idea or anything like that. I am literally a work in progress, my friends. But I really am kind of doing it for my own benefit. Like I was saying, I was thinking about starting the series because it would be fun. And as I'm starting to get some grinders, and I went from only having a manual grinder a year ago to having my first electric grinders within the last 6 months. And that tells you something. So, yeah, I'm still learning. But learn with me. All right, sounds good. Yeah, that's kind of the deal, you guys. And the other reason why I do these lives is just because I don't want anyone to think like the folks on YouTube or there's people you edit to the good shot, or you're a pro. It's okay to have a little overspray. It's okay to make a mistake. You could still have good coffee. I think that's the kind of the thing about the coffee stuff that sometimes it kind of blows my mind. I was kind of sharing this the other day. Um, I was I'm part of a Facebook channel for home people being like home baristas and making their own coffee and all that good stuff. Let's pour some water in there. And someone had asked a really simple question, and it was like everyone just pounced on this person. And I just couldn't help to think, like, if it were me asking that question, I'm kind of, it's kind of hard to shut me up, but it would have been one of those situations where I would have been like, maybe I won't ask that. I think it's super important for folks to be able to, uh, have a place where they could ask questions and feel safe and secure and just asking a normal question, and that's kind of why I started this channel. I want to learn, and I'm thinking y'all are kind of like me. I know that after the pandemic, there's a lot of folks that got into coffee and got into coffee making at home, and that's really cool, and for me, it's like I've been super rusty for 20 years. I worked on my career. I didn't think about being in a cafe and all that. I worked with cafe owners. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think everything is about, uh, you know, a learning process, and I think that kind of stuff is cool. I don't know about y'all, but that's what I think. Okay, so I got my portafilter heated up a little bit. Want to make sure I'm making some good results here as best as possible. Thermal stability is important. Not the most important, but is important. Okay. Oh, you do 202 on the owl? Nice. Yeah, that's kind of the thing with the Gemini here, guys. I've been kind of trying to figure out where I should go temperature wise. 215 is the highest, so I'm gonna lower it down just at your suggestion here. But I know that it's obviously not gonna get that on this time. Even right now, didn't go to 202. But yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna try, Jim. I'm gonna try that on my owl. And hey, Jim, and the really cool thing, I'm gonna put my owl in my kitchen. I'm actually gonna let my son start using my owl, because I love it. The owl is just like the coolest machine. And then I'm gonna tell you guys this: my wife says the owl is way more prettier than the Powerhouse three G3007. My wife's like, you if you're gonna put something in the kitchen, you got to put something pretty, and she says that's pretty. So I'm not going to argue with her on that. I actually think it's kind of overkill for my kiddo to use, but I'll probably end up using it during the day if I'm in the kitchen. So I'm kind of stoked. I'm going to put that in the kitchen pretty soon. I have it right next to me right now. Alrighty. Yeah, that is such a cool unit, guys. If you got anyone's on the fence about that one, it's awesome. Price wise, the deals are crazy through the roof. Such a cool machine. Okay. I love both of them. That's the hard part, you know. I love the boiler on this. That's the reason why I got it. But the shots I pull on each one were just amazing. I think Gemini's blowing stuff out of the water. You know, they're kind of the big market distributor folks because they designed all this stuff. All right. Okay. Then we'll have the donut with this. Okay. That one definitely needs some distribution. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the top on, clean it up. Alrighty. There we go. Yeah, totally. My wife's always right. I'm going on 19 years of marriage, and I told my son, my 17-year-old, I was like, "Hey, when you pick your partner, you pick your spouse in life. Pick someone who's smarter than you, who makes you better." And that's my wife. She's smarter than me, and she makes me better. She's a published writer and stuff. So yeah. Plus, she's gonna win on the aesthetic part of things. I'm a dude. I don't really know too much about that. She makes things pretty. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. Let's pull this shot. Hey, 30 years, man. That is awesome. Yeah, seriously. My father-in-law had been married to my mother-in-law for like 55 years when we got married, my wife and I. Like they had been married a long time. And I remember the day that I got married, he pulled me aside and said, "You know what the secret to happy marriage is?" And I was like, "What?" Yeah, everyone called him Papa. I'm like, "What, Papa? What's the secret?" And he's like, "Saying yes to your wife." He's like, that's a smart man. Oh my goodness. Anyway, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull the shot again. 18 out. I'm crossing my fingers here. Might have to dial it in a little bit because I had it for the pour over. Nice. Very high in pressure, but again, I don't have high expectations for this. Because again, I know it's very commodity coffee. I could probably go way finer, even than what I'm doing right now. You could see over here the puck is kind of breaking down, and the pressure's going down. It's now at about a 10. Oh, shoot! I should have stopped that. 43 and 31. So again, I didn't have high expectations for this one, just because again, I know this is I know the reason why I got this coffee, and it's good reasons. Give my kiddo a chance to learn his espresso machine. Okay, so let's go ahead, pure sake of non-science here. I'm gonna put this on the refractometer, give it a little taste, and have a little donut because that's what I need to do. All right, so it's good. Still crema, not the best crema, but still crema. So I can't complain there. 9.90. It's a pretty good extraction. I mean, it's above 8. It's right in the zone where it should be. I like getting about a 10. So 9.9. I'm not gonna argue with that. Okay. Got a little tiger striping right up top. I don't know. Maybe I should stop complaining about it. Wow. It's actually pretty delightful. It's a Colombian. It is a Colombian blend. So, I mean, it is from one single country, kind of single origin, but it is a blend of different Colombian, probably producers. Very good. It actually does kind of remind me of that donut store coffee. Now, I'm not saying donut store good is gold, but it does kind of remind me of a donut store. Like just that classic Americana, donut experience. Like I mentioned before, I grew up in Southern California, and one of my favorite things, like one of my absolute favorite things to do, was to hang out with my goofball friends and go to a locally run donut store. And I had this friends of mine. Their mom was from Cambodia. Their dad was from mainland China. They had lived in Mexico City, and they had also lived in Canada because they had family in Canada and Toronto. And then eventually they all settled, the whole family, in Southern California. So my buddies from high school literally spoke Cantonese, Mandarin, French, Spanish, and English, all fluently, all perfect, and they ran a donut shop. I would always joke around and be like, you guys should be like working at the, like international, like an international affairs or something. Oh my goodness, you know, an embassy. Come on now. But anyway, one of my favorite things is just having coffee, walking into a freshly baked donuts that are done at a local donut shop. You kind of get that French type smell that you only get in a bakery, or banderia type smell you would get in a Spanish bakery. I just love it. I love it all. This is not that. This is okay. This is from Wawa, y'all. This is a Wawa donut. Well, it's still delicious. Don't tell my wife. Cheers. Cheers, my friends. Cheers. There's not many things better on the planet than a pastry and a coffee. That is one of my guilty pleasures that I really enjoy. Is just being able to have coffee and a little something. And usually it's not a donut in the morning. One of my best coffee memories was with my abuelita and having cookies and coffee in the morning. We did this every day. So I don't know about y'all, but I always suggest make those coffee memories with your kids. Make those coffee memories with your loved ones and your friends because they're so important. So then, again, this is I'm going to try this one more time. This is the Birdie from Vietnam, 100% Robusta. And what's crazy is I have it on top of the Gemini here, and it is warming the glass. It kept the glass pretty warm. Very smooth, good mouthfeel. Definitely super delicious. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm still so stoked because I've got a lot of things planned for this next week as far as on the channel. If you weren't with me before, I have a brand new Gevi coming in the next couple days. It's coming straight from the factory. And I'm going to tell you guys, I have not seen this at all on the United States website. I think this might be a brand new thing that possibly might not be out yet. Or I'm totally wrong. But they sent me a picture of it. I've never seen the picture before of this particular unit. It's a 58 millimeter unit with an OPV, so overpressure valve. And it's supposed to say that, from what I'm understanding, from what they're saying, it's something having to do with the technology with the OPV. That's delicious. That is making it very unique. So I am pretty stoked to see what it is, because I cannot find any information on social media about it, nor can I find anything on their website in the United States. If anyone has their website in China, like their main website, please send it to me, because I'm very curious to see if this unit is on there. I don't even know the model number. They reached out to me and asked me if I would like to do a review and be one of the first people to see it. And guys, I'm a very small YouTuber. I'm gonna say yes to almost anything. Uh, you know, Free unit, get to review it for you guys. I'm always cool with that. But I'm actually really stoked. I have no idea, and I'm hoping that I'm not being fooled. I say that because the pictures look really cool. So yeah, yeah, guys. You guys want to see the puck? Let me show you the puck here. I always like doing a good puck diagnosis. So here's the puck on the puck screen, nice and clean. Ooh, that's hot. Wow. Looks like a cookie. Yeah, it's always a good idea to look at your pucks. Make sure that it's not too watery, that everything looks pretty consistent. It's a good way. Just like having a bottomless, and maybe setting up that mirror so you can look at it, kind of watching how it comes out. It really teaches you a lot about coffee. But yeah, guys, I'm stoked. Oh man, cappuccino with a croissant. That is the best. I almost got a croissant today instead of a donut, but you know, sometimes you just gotta go bad. Oh wow, thanks, man. Yeah, Italy with your family. Oh my goodness, I have been to Europe, but Italy is not one of the countries I was in. I was teaching English in Hungary for 6 weeks, um, with a big group of folks from America. I was literally teaching them how to speak with American slang. A group of kids in school, basically in college. And my wife lived in Italy for she did a semester abroad, so it was like almost 2 months. Um, and she tells me these stories, and yeah, we got to get to Italy. We were actually thinking about doing that for one of our anniversaries. So yeah, good memory. Thanks for sharing it, because that is really special. Having those trips. I had mentioned before we had just went to Tennessee as a family. It's nice to take those trips. Awesome. This is really good. Oh, cool. So, let's see here. So, Carl, you just pulled another shot while working on your restoring your dream. Oh, that's cool. Uh, yeah, that's awesome. Super, super cool. Yeah, guys, I keep trying to look on Facebook Marketplace to find some like used old Gaja, either a classic or something. I'm in Central Florida, and guys, you would be shocked at how many crazy things you see on Facebook Marketplace out here, or maybe you wouldn't be shocked. Florida's an interesting place. You got a lot of mix of people from all over, and this is like their vacation home or retirement. I live near the biggest. retirement community. And when I say community, this community is some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. This community is the size of Disney World, and it's like three cities in one. And my wife and I live near it, so you get folks from all over the country and all over the world who are retiring out here. And every now and then you get some Papa and Mama who are selling some really cool coffee equipment. So sorry, I picked up a lot of stuff. Yes, 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 the villages. Try not to invoke the name because they'll all come out and visit me. My wife has worked there before, so we actually visit quite a lot. Quite a lot. They have really cool cafes, amazing restaurants. We kind of joke around when we go. We feel like we're young. I'm in my mid 40s, so yeah, I'm a little young when I go there. I feel like the baby. But it is actually a great place. A lot of amazing people that live there. Beautiful homes. Got a lot of respect for everyone over there. It's crazy to me though how big it is. We went from one end to another. There's a place out here called 2J's, which is a New York deli. I used to live in New York, so I love it. It's a great. Actually, has really good coffee and pastry. It's just amazing. But yeah, definitely good. Highly recommend it. Hey guys, so again, really appreciate you hanging with me. We went ahead and we tried out this again one more time. This is the Timor S3 Big Boy. I wasn't quite happy with the results, so I need to get a little redemption. I actually am tempted, if you guys want, I will try one more time. But I'm going to show you something. When it comes to this setting, I have it on 1 micron above 0. And the only spot that I have to make it finer is by going 0. Now, it kind of pains me to say this because I love Timor. And I don't think this is a bad system here. I think this is an awesome grinder. But for pour over, beautiful. I poured one of the absolute best pour overs yesterday that I've ever had in my life on my ratio. And that's not some blanket statement. I'm being serious. It was one of the best pour overs I've ever had using Airship. Okay, maybe I should phrase it as best pour over in my home. That's the way I'm gonna phrase it. It's important to me when a grinder is espresso capable, and I use the Timor 3 chestnut for a long time as my daily driver for espresso. Right now, my favorite grinder for espresso, if it's a manual, is this one right here. So this is the Mavo Fentex, and it is really awesome. There's just no other way to say it. A lot of people are comparing this one to the King grinder. The quality on this is just killer. It's all metal construction. Everything feels quality on it. I am extremely happy with it. The differences with this one is really not much, and it is a direct comparison to the two. I'll tell you that. I would say head to head, espresso wise, I'm gonna go with this one. Pour over, I'm gonna go with the Timor. Tried and true, good results. But when you look at them, they look like, squint your eye, and they kind of look like cousins. So I'm gonna do the grinder. I'm gonna Timor here at 0. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not recommend this. I don't recommend it. If you look at most manuals, going 0 is just not something that's going to be recommended. It's just not. I am going to use, I was using like I said, the Crema Beast with the Vietnamese Robusta beans before. I'm going to do this one with Airship. Just because I know this is a fresher roast, and definitely it's going to give me a little bit of better results just in general. And I'm going to do it on the Bottomless. I'll just do one last shot. Probably not going to drink this, guys, because it's too much caffeine. But you know, sometimes when you feel like you got to complete something. I do feel like maybe I need to complete this, and it's going to haunt me if I don't. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I got this thing set at the lowest grind setting possible, so finest possible. And we're going to take one last shot really quick. Like I said, I know I'm not even probably going to drink this, but I will taste it for you. I'm going to taste it. Won't drink it. That'd be way too much caffeine. Okay. So 18 grams. Finest setting possible. Yeah. Again, guys, would I recommend this grinder? Sure, 100%. This is probably one of their more expensive grinders. They're a wonderful company. I love Timor. I could tell you, I've never had a Timer product I didn't like. I can just tell you that right now. I really haven't. I've never, ever had a Timer product I didn't like. I just haven't. It's been awesome. The build quality is amazing. Even the Nutty, the partnership, that one does really decent on espresso. So this is just, I think that this particular basically brew is really centered towards pour over. So I'll accept that. Even though I love my espresso, I'll accept that this is more like a pour over, a great pour over set. Even though this is the finest setting, it's still a little easier than most grinders at this type of level. $18 grams. All right. Almost there. Yeah, I love that sound when it gets to the end. You know, the chamber's nice and clear. There we go. Let's give a little tap for love. Okay. Let's take a look at the browns here. And that is as fine as it gets. Oh, that is so fragrant. It smells so good. It's an Ethiopian. It's very floral. Oh, my goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Let's go ahead and load this sucker up. Okay, let's see here. I've noticed the shade on these is just really bright. Just really cool looking. Yeah, I love an Ethiopian. Super impressed with Airship. I'm thinking about ordering again. Okay. Change it up a little bit. All right. It's a cool tool. I like it. It's very light. Very light. So definitely different than the Image Bomber. Okay. Different tamper. Same force style tamper. 30-pound spring, calibrated. Pretty good results, right? Okay. Book screen up top. Nice and hot. All right, guys. Let's try this one last time. Okay. Oh, I want redemption here. This is what I want. I want it to look good and taste good. Like I said, I've never had a Timor manual that wasn't too espresso capable. And it is espresso capable, it's just the results I was getting definitely wasn't what I was thinking. Okay, enough of that. Let's put one last thing on here. And I'm going to regret this because I have a feeling this might not be pretty. Oh, there we go. There we go. Almost there. It's hard to get on camera for y'all. Okay. All right. Better. Way better. It's right at 9. It's actually right where I want it to be. Oh, this is the redemption shot. This is the redemption shot. This was worth it. Yes. 37.4 in 20 seconds. Redemption shot achieved. Oh my goodness gracious. Please stay to the end of the video to watch that. Those of you who watch it later, not live. Those of you who are watching this live, thank you for hanging with me. Redemption! Yes! Yeah, you guys, sometimes this is what I love about making coffee at home is that it's not an exact science, but it is. There's so many different variables. Don't get yourself down when making coffee. Don't be upset if your coffee doesn't look exactly like the pros. I am not a pro. I am a home enthusiast, just like you. Or maybe you are a pro when you're watching. Don't judge me too hard. All right, guys, let's give it a little test just for the sake of it. 11.82 on the TDS. So I'm going to say that's probably good extraction. I was hitting 9 bars. That's actually right where I wanted to be. And everything. So again, that was the finest setting on that grinder. Let's give it a little taste, and we're probably not going to drink this whole thing. Wow. Ooh, I'm just taking that in. That was one of my best shots at all. Everything I just pulled right now, it's delicious. So again, if you didn't notice before, Airship is what I'm pulling here. Airship, they are out of Arkansas. They are a great roaster. They have cafes all around Arkansas. There's like 4 locations or something. I'm trying to remember the city they're in. But they're really good, guys. I'm going to order some more from them. Definitely really good. I got to have one more taste here. So this is a floral. Everything you're reading on tasting notes, floral, chocolate, blueberry, is accurate to the T. It's bright. It's sweet. It's not. It's perfect. Like if you're looking for a light roast and you want to go fancy pants, I'm gonna recommend this because this is fancy pants and the good type of fancy pants. Here's the older shot that I had in the beginning, just to kind of get a difference between the two. I mean, both good in their own way. Man, that is like juicy, like literally like juice. I did this on the ratio, like I mentioned, and had one of the best pour overs ever. And okay, so I used the Timor S3, and this is my redemption shot. I had a bunch of bad shots with this. I went the finest possible that I can go. This is a great grinder for pour over. I'm going to put that in the pour over category, but this espresso pull was amazing. So I'm going to call that a redemption. I'm going to call it a win, 100%. Goodness. Guys, if you're not already, definitely subscribe. Appreciate you hanging out with me. This was a fun session. If you guys have any questions, always leave them in the comments below. And I truly mean this, guys. If you ever want to chat with me, DM me on my Instagram account. Best place to get a hold of me is always Instagram. I love seeing pictures. You guys are more than welcome to send me pictures of what you're doing or different projects you're working on. I love following on Instagram. There's a bunch of y'all that I've been following. I love it. So I definitely appreciate you hanging with me. It's the reason why I do this is so we can all hang out, kind of help each other out. If there's ever a tip that you want to share with me, you are more than welcome to leave a comment below. You're more than welcome to give me tips on this. Jim had mentioned his setting of 203 for his Gemilai Owl. And I thought that actually made a wonderful shot. That pulled at the 203 from this Gemilai Powerhouse. So really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Again, have a great week. And maybe we'll do this on the weekend.